There's a conversation that happens inside medical and law school admissions offices that most applicants never hear. It happens in committee rooms and in the margins of application files. It's the little moment a dean closes a folder and decides. I spent over 15 years in that room. This is GradMissions Office Hours. I'm Autumn Rains-Lockett, and every week my team and I bring that conversation out into the open because the process was never meant to be a mystery, and your future is too important for guesswork. Let's get to work. We are so excited to announce some new services here at GradMissions. You asked, we answered. By popular demand, we are releasing the Application Essay Lab. So this is something that is born from a lot of folks who maybe don't want us in your face for 16 to 18 months as we walk through every step of this cycle together, but know you need some support on your essays. And so you asked, we answered. Please stop sending us your personal statements in DM via TikTok. It's unsafe. I'm a stranger on the internet. You should not trust me with that, but you should trust me if you engage through this. And so I'm so excited to tell you all about what is available in the Application Essay Lab. And with me, I have my co-conspirator in the laboratory, Lori. Tell us a little bit about how this dream has come to fruition.
So excited. I think it really goes along with the GradMissions mission is access, expertise. Let's get these amazing individuals in hospitals, in doctors' offices, in courtrooms, in the next stage of their life. Let's get them on their way. And we've got brilliant individuals that were struggling with essay. We've got brilliant individuals who spent a lot of time putting together data and kind of leaving the personal out of it and focusing on data points and analyzing data points and looking for patterns. And then we ask them to tell a really personal story and to capture the essence of who they are and what they want to do with their big life in an essay. And they were struggling. And so I love the idea that this just really goes so well with the GradMissions mission to help people get to their dream and to help sort of excavate the brilliance that is there. So the kind of why for me and the excitement around that for me is that it goes so well with what we do with all of our clients, but we get to do it in kind of a different way, opens the access for a few more people.
That's right.
Huh. I love that, Lori. That's really exciting for our group to have this as another tool to offer our students. And so could you tell us a little bit about what someone gets with the admissions lab or the application essay lab?
Absolutely. We have 4 different packages that we are unveiling. And so it kind of hits at different pain points that we saw throughout the process that our clients were feeling and that our applicants were needing assistance with. And so one is our package of one is an essay blueprint, and it's for that individual who's staring at that blank page and is not sure what to even do, how to get started, or maybe they got started and they've thrown all around them. They're just, surrounded by piles of crumpled up paper. That's not it, and that's not it, and that's not it. And so it's a real clear, short 30-minute Zoom session. We give them some great exercises that I've excavated from all of you all. I've stolen all of your expertise and curated that into workbooks and step-by-step guides to really help them come to that 30-minute live session with a lot of work already done so that that's a really impactful conversation. And we give them a scaffold when they're done. So they've got a great outline for their essay. And I think I might have failed to mention that this can kind of go across the board. So it doesn't just have to be our med school clients and our law school clients, but we have also worked with, individuals who are going to PT school or dent school or things like that. And so we're pulling together our essay experts in a lot of different areas to address whatever your essay needs are. So whatever that essay is that you're writing, that blueprint is for that individual who can't really get started or wants some help in the process of getting started.
When you were talking about them staring at a blank screen and then crumpling up and throwing it on the floor, I have a 3-year-old right now who's the baby of 5, and she is a perfectionist. Like, she wants to draw a rainbow just like her big sister can. Her sister is 8. Like, fine motor skills are not there yet when you are 3. And so she will do her best to color a rainbow, crumple it up and say, "It's not perfect." And so I feel like I see that in a lot of our clients, and then in a lot of people who, like you said, they maybe go into a different program. Maybe they aren't really ready to sign up to have the full mentorship. They don't really know if they need that full mentorship, but they know they need help with this part of it. And This is not us giving you a bunch of worksheets and then hoping that you can figure it out. We're going to help you pre-plan, and then we're going to spend 30 minutes with you really excavating and going through what you've written and telling you why it's special. Sometimes you can't see what's special about you because for you it was a Tuesday. But we
Absolutely.
know what the admissions committees are looking for, and we know what lands and doesn't just get people in, but gets people scholarship money. And so we're going to help you scaffold and build this out. And it's not a naked outline, like it is a rich outline that has lots of great details. And then you can take that and go from there, feeling really empowered. You just do the connective tissue and it's ready to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I think a lot of our clients get stuck in I read this great essay example from someone who got into my dream school, and I've got to copy that, and I've got to
Yep.
mimic that. And we say all the time that dilutes their voice. It loses the main character theme. And so all of those things we're working with you on, it is unique to you. It is not a template. It is not a fill out this Mad Lib sheet and we hope you put your essay together. That's not how we roll.
No,
So that unique connection to our essay experts who are working with you on your individual story is so a part of each of these packages. So the essay blueprint, that blank page, the essay edit, if you've already done some work and you want those expert eyeballs on it and you want some feedback, we have that opportunity. So applicants can share with us what they have already written. We provide, again, kind of provide some of those curated step-by-step guides to help them walk through and assess what they've already written. And then they bring kind of their reflections to us, and we can do that either with a 15 to 20-minute kind of follow-up feedback call, or if you are like, I really don't want to have to talk to people about my essay. I really just
we
wanted
see
this to
you.
be asynchronous. Then we can do that through our Google Drive. That will be you'll have a personal Google Drive with us that our essay experts will be in, and they'll be sharing feedback. So I think that's really important. Also, kind of to add to that underlaying layer across all of these packages and just kind of across who we are at GradMissions. So it's not going to be a Mad Libs template, but it's also not going to be AI. There are real people behind that feedback who have sat on the other side of the admissions table, who have worked for decades in higher ed and in coaching students through writing labs and other areas. And so you've got real people with real expertise there. It is not something you input and then AI spits back an idea to
Right.
you. So yeah.
So there's a little bit of a delay because there are real humans doing that who have real lives. And so if you know you want to submit your essays on September 1, this is the time to start thinking about it. Like you don't we have a 72-hour delay, business hours, so that we can really spend our time reading it. And some of the expertise that we're layering into this review of your essay that you sent to us to not just edit for proofreading and grammar, which we obviously will do. We have done a decade of post-mortem work on application essays that weren't successful. And so we know where the pitfalls are, and we can help you move from what you've done that's probably pretty good to something that's really excellent.
Yeah, I love that. That good to great. Um, For the third package, our essay intensive is really you want that collaborative individual to come alongside you at each step of just the essay writing process. So maybe you want to try us out with that pain point that you know is there in the essay, and you want that one-on-one service. And so again, we're going to give you some great curated activities that help you excavate your story, that make good use of our time together. This package also comes with live sessions, so you get that one-on-one personal feedback. And we kind of look at those. There's 3 live meetings. It's a scaffolding session, a draft walkthrough, and then that final polish. So there'll be communication between there as well, but you also just get to walk through that with someone in person. And we look at that as a pretty intense experience. So come ready to get that essay from start to admit through the essay intensive package. And then our fourth package is for those secondary supplemental essay sprints. So for those who've been following our podcast and listening to our advice along the way, this is the season, right? This is secondary season, and this is for those who are getting their prompts or anticipating their prompts, and we'll help you up with up to 5 secondary or supplemental essays, kind of depending on what programs you're applying to and what you need there. And those are going to be feedback sessions through our Google Drive again. And so you get the quick 72-hour turnaround on what you submit. You get expert eyeballs on your essays and real feedback that's not just like, this looks great.
Right.
That feedback. So come ready for some feedback that you're going to act on, and come ready to hear some feedback, because we don't want to hurt your feelings ever, right? But we want to make sure that you hear it now and it doesn't end up to be a barrier to you getting into that dream school or you getting that scholarship. So we're going to take care of it in the essay feedback cycle, instead of just letting it sit. And we're going to be honest and give you all the secrets that our experts have compiled over decades. And what did you say earlier? Maybe close to 35,000 essays reviewed, and postmortems as well. So that's kind of a breakdown of the packages. Anything else to add there, Autumn?
Yeah, I think the supplemental secondaries, up to 5 can also include addendum. So, something that we think about sometimes when we're writing secondaries or supplemental essays for med and law school is we're going to have to write a character and fitness addendum. We're going to have to write a GPA addendum or something like that. And so having somebody who doesn't love you read that and make sure that it sounds okay and make sure that you're coming from a position of power, that you're writing from scars, not scabs, is so important. And so if you want to sneak in your addendum writing into those 5 and up to 5 supplemental essays, we'll allow it.
I love that. I mean, so many people don't even know that that's an option or that's something they
Yeah.
may need to do. So what a great opportunity.
I think this is going to be so helpful for our clients and future clients. And as someone, I was the newest team member, I feel like, to GradMissions. I have not been around for the full cycle of the supplemental essays, but Logan, Lizanne, and Autumn have definitely been through all of these. And so, Lizanne and Logan, are there any pain points that you've seen with students along the way that would be that is a reason why we should be having this? Do you see something that works for other students?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think, no, go ahead, Logan.
Autumn and I were talking about this a couple days ago. Our clients come to us for all different kinds of reasons. Our clients identify that they would like assistance on this process a lot of the times because they struggle with the writing portion. They feel like they don't know how to extract their story, or that they feel like what they have done is not interesting enough, which is such a subjective point of view. I mean, you're applying to med or law school. You've done some interesting stuff. We just need to present it in a way that really showcases what you've done. But when it comes to the writing, I think I see 3 things. Someone who struggles with not enough detail. They don't know how to reflect on an experience, bring us to the moment, understand how they grew through that experience. They don't know how to think about it in that way. On the flip side of that, there's someone who has so much detail that we're at 13,000 characters for a 250 character essay that we need to, okay, how do we take all of this beautiful, rich detail and condense it down to meet the requirement that we're trying to meet and still make it feel personal and rich and impactful? I also see students who struggle with, they can do all the reflection, right? They know what they learned. They can extract a story from an experience that they had, but they really struggle turning that idea into a narrative. They can talk it out with you all day long, right? Stream of consciousness, all the details that you could want, but shifting that into a narrative format is a real struggle. And then, of course, you have the students who struggle with the tyranny of the blank page.
Yeah.
How do I even get started? And I just feel like the essay lab is such an excellent opportunity, if you're not going to do the curated experience, to just even just boost your confidence that you actually are capable of doing this. Everything that you have done up until this moment is good enough. And we can help show admissions committees that you are competent, capable, and ready for this experience.
Absolutely.
That's such a good word, Logan. I think because you and I have been on the inside of this writing process for these med students, and Lizanne will talk in a minute about law students, but for med students, they don't understand how special they are. They really don't. And when you were describing kind of the two flip sides of things, I think about being in, y'all are going to laugh at me because, of course, I'm going to talk about high school band. Okay. So in concert season, we talk a lot about, in marching band, it's just loud. Like you just want to blat your trumpet as loud as you can to the back of the bleachers of that football stadium. Okay. Marching season is just about being loud. But in concert season, right? So I kind of think of your high school to undergrad writing as like, you're just trying to say it as loud as you can, right? Like you're just trying to get in writing to get into undergrad is such a different skill set. I know we have people on our staff who, also have moonlighted in that space. And so you understand what I'm talking about. When you get to writing to go to med and law school, we're in concert season, folks. We've got to pay attention to tempo. We've got to pay attention to crescendos and the way that the music is written. We've got to pay attention to the time signatures and all those like really intricate things that are going on. And if you've ever played in a group dynamic musically or vocally, you get a really good conductor who's like bringing things up the right way and bringing them down. And like, they're really instructing you and teaching you how to interface with that music. It produces the most beautiful sound. And that is what we're going for in this kind of writing. Nerd alert. Sorry, y'all.
I was gonna try to take it further, and then I backed down. I decided that what you said was so beautiful that I shouldn't add whatever I was going to add to it. So I think we should just leave it at what you said.
I wanted to be like, and that's it for today.
No, I don't need to add anything else. I was so mesmerized. Yes. I have so many thoughts now, and I was not a band girl. I was a sports girl, but we're not going to geek out on that.
There's probably a comparison there too, but
it's not as pretty.
I tried to use a football metaphor in our workshop earlier, and I don't know if it went well.
You did great.
Good.
You did great. Yes, all of those things for law students as well. Logan, those were some amazing points. And yes, this is where the essay lab is going to be just so excellent in helping people with these pain points. The two things that kind of stick out to me with law students, or I guess both. Many high achievers that we work with do not like to talk about themselves because they don't feel like their story is unique. They feel like everything, looks the same as all of the other applicants. So there's that. And then on the other side, they may enjoy talking about themselves or not have a problem with it, but they feel as if it has to fit a specific mold. Mm-hmm. And so they're looking on Reddit, they're talking to former law students, they're talking to lawyers about, okay, well, you need to write, you need to quote a politician and then go from there, or you need to talk about X, Y, and Z. Like, this is a really important thing in the political sphere right now. You need to take a stance. Just a few examples.
Three most important things from your resume and go.
Right. And so it can be, writing even for future lawyers can be difficult because of what they're supposed to be writing about. They're not, like Lori said earlier, they're not analyzing facts. They're not doing research. They're talking about themselves. And that's really, really difficult for so many people. And so I like to think of what we do at GradMissions. Part of what we do here is that secret sauce of taking a student's story and writing about it beautifully. And so many of our clients have those stories, but like Autumn said, to them, it was just a Tuesday that they did something like that. And so I think the essay lab is really, really going to help these students get their stories out there, because we know that medians matter. We know that time of your application matters. We know showing up, all these ways, but the writing, that optional writing for these law school applications is absolutely mandatory. And being able to write that beautiful story is just the chef's kiss on top of an amazing application already. Is going to help students get to where they want to be. And so hitting those pain points and saying, you are unique, you can talk about this, you should talk about this, and this is how you talk about it in order to be effective in this space, I think is invaluable.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it one step further, because once you have this we say brand, but I mean, it is your brand. It's your brand. Once you have your brand figured out through your essays, guess what it's going to help you with once you get into law school and med school? Your job interviews
Really?
and
Right.
your career.
That's
And
right.
so it's going to help
Yeah.
Networking.
so much in understanding who you are. And I think that as a career counselor, that is something that I have seen students struggle with so much is understanding who they are as a person and what shines in them. And that's
Mm,
what this essay lab is going to help with is finding those those diamonds in the rough and understanding your story and being able to tell it thoughtfully and efficiently and effectively. And
yeah.
so I think this is going to be so helpful and it's going to kickstart the students throughout their application process and then once they get in, because it doesn't end
Yeah.
there.
No, it doesn't. You knowing how to tell your story and how that shapes who you are in the world is so imperative. Two quick things. Number one, we had a client this cycle who had a long history of had like an online gaming community and really came to us with hunched over shoulders because he felt like he'd wasted the last decade of his life and just had no idea. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. But like just didn't see, he's like, I have nothing to show for the last decade. And I was like, are you Coco crazy? Like, no, of course you have something. And so Lizanne, wizard that she is, took that experience and talked about how he did build this community, how he did build this community, how he did, the technological advances, the longstanding, all these things. Like Lizanne just took it and made it look beautiful. And watching his face when he read that resume, it you changed his life, Lizanne. Like he had never seen himself that way. And, came from these brilliant parents and had this like, really high standards for him. And I think it was really, I mean, he just, even the way he carried himself on camera changed after he saw his resume through your eyes. And so I think when we can give someone that, it is so helpful. The analogy that
And
I
it's
love.
not made up. It's not made up.
Oh,
It
it's
was
not
what he had
everything you wrote
done.
was true. He
Yeah.
just couldn't see it because for
Right.
him, it was just in his couch, on his couch doing this thing on what's it called? Twitch?
I can't even remember.
Is it
He
Twitch?
was very high up. He had like thousands of followers and doing all this and
Yes.
managing. He was managing a business. And
He
he's like,
was
oh, I'm just,
managing a business, but
yeah.
because
And
it
I'm
was
like,
easy
you're
for him,
just,
he didn't see it.
yeah, he just
Yeah.
needed that confidence boost
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
did. So if you've ever visited, this is the analogy. If you've ever visited a city that has a landscape, right? Like the natural human tendency is to just like crawl your little self to the tippity top of whatever's the highest point. There's some like human evolution lizard brain thing that happens. So when you visit Paris, right? You get there and you're like cruising in on the train and you look up and there's the Eiffel Tower and you're like, I'm going to the top of it, right? Like that's just what you want to do. That's what all of you high achievers do with your life. So that's what you do. You get to the top of the Eiffel Tower and you open it up. I visited in November. It was so cold. We opened the door. It split my lip. So I'm bleeding. I'm at the top of the Eiffel Tower and I'm looking around and I'm like, huh, because you're on the top of the thing. You're on the top of the thing and you can't see it. The best view of Paris is from the top of the Arc de Triomphe or from across the way on the plaza where you can see the skyline. Same with New York, right? You go to New York, you're like, Empire State Building. I'm going to the top of it. Up you go, top of the, or you're going to the top of the rock. You get to the top and you're looking, you're like, it's kind of a letdown because you don't realize the thing that you've done is what you're already standing on. And so many of you knuckleheads can't see it. But guess what? We can. And we're going to help you write about it.
Love it. The visuals that you all provide there are not only so helpful and beautiful to show what we do, but I think it speaks to who we are because everything is, we are going to give you a perspective of an expert who cares about where you end up.
Yeah.
We are the conductor who is going to educate you in the process along the way so that you don't just leave with a great essay for your admissions, but you learn how to write your narrative. You learn how to own your story. You learn how to get excited about it and share it in an interview, and you're prepared for that next step. But there's this education piece that goes along with that. And I think that just sort of again goes to that underlying of who we are at GradMissions being a part of a deep part of this application essay lab, that curated experience that we pour so much into. We're pouring that care and that curation into this level as well. So I just love the visuals that you all come up with, and I think that's why you're all such great writers, and it's so fun to write with you and write and learn from you. Those were beautiful ways to showcase what we do.
So if you want to know about the essay lab, go to gradmissions.org. In the top menu bar, there is a services tab. If you click on services, you can obviously read all about our curated application experience, where you get us in your back pocket through white coat or through 1 hour orientation. You can also toggle down to the second tab, which talks about this essay only experience. You can read about all the different packages. If you have questions, shoot me an email, autumn@gradmissions.org, or you can just purchase your package right there online, and we'll get started with you within 72 hours. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We wish you all the best as you pursue your future lawyer and future doctor dreams. Stay with us on socials at @grad_missions. Bye, y'all.